Imagine ruling the world and still being afraid to sleep at night. In the year 180 AD, the Roman Empire stood at the peak of its power. From the cold rains of Britain to the burning deserts of Syria, Rome ruled over more than 60 million people. Its roads connected continents. Its armies crushed enemies. Its cities glittered with marble, gold, and triumph. From the outside, Rome looked invincible, but inside, something was already rotting. Rome didn't collapse because of one battle. Rome collapsed because its own success slowly poisoned it. For centuries, Rome's rise followed a brutal but effective formula: conquer, enslave, extract, expand. Every victory brought more land, more gold, more slaves, more glory, and every victory made Rome richer and more dependent on constant war. The empire became addicted to expansion. Without new conquests, the system began to break. Armies still needed to be paid. Cities still needed food. Elites still demanded luxury. But now, there was no endless frontier left to conquer. At the same time, power in Rome became deadly. Emperors didn't retire. They were murdered, poisoned, strangled, stabbed in their sleep. In one brutal century, more than 20 emperors were assassinated or overthrown. The most dangerous job in the empire wasn't being a soldier on the frontier. It was sitting on the throne in Rome. This constant chaos at the top sent shockwaves through the entire system. Armies began to choose their own emperors. Generals marched on Rome. Civil wars erupted again and again. Every time Rome fought itself, its borders weakened, and Rome had many enemies watching and waiting. But the most terrifying danger wasn't outside the empire, it was inside the economy. As Rome grew, it relied more and more on enslaved labor. Millions of slaves powered farms, mines, and households. At first, this made Rome incredibly wealthy, but over time, it destroyed innovation. Why build better tools when human labor was almost free? Why improve productivity when conquest brought fresh workers? Rome became rich, but stagnant. Its economy stopped evolving. Then the money itself began to rot. To pay armies and fund wars, emperors slowly diluted Rome's silver coins. The denarius lost more and more silver until it became almost worthless. Prices exploded. Trust in money collapsed. Trade slowed. Soldiers demanded more pay. Taxes rose. Farmers fled their land. The empire began eating its own foundations, and still, Rome looked powerful. Massive walls were built. Armies marched in shining armor. Emperors held grand spectacles in collapsing cities. Rome didn't fall with a scream. It fell with a performance. Then came the emotional breaking point. In the year 410 AD, something unthinkable happened. Rome itself was sacked. For nearly 800 years, the city of Rome had been untouchable. Enemies could burn provinces, destroy armies, even kill emperors. But Rome itself stood as a symbol of eternal power. When the Visigoths broke into the city, the shock echoed across the entire world. People didn't just lose a capital, they lost faith. The psychological damage was devastating. If Rome could fall, then nothing was truly safe. Provinces stopped believing the empire could protect them. Loyalty weakened. Local leaders began to look after themselves. The empire started to fracture in spirit long before it fractured on maps. Yet Rome didn't end overnight. It limped forward for decades. The Western Empire slowly bled out through invasions, internal decay, and economic collapse. In 476 AD, the last Western Roman emperor was deposed. No epic final battle, no heroic last stand, just silence. Here's the cruel paradox. Rome didn't fall because it was weak. Rome fell because it was too powerful for too long. Its success created systems that only worked in endless growth. Its power concentrated violence at the top. Its wealth depended on exploitation that killed innovation. Its armies protected borders but destabilized politics. Rome built a machine that could conquer the world, but not survive peace. And that's the most unsettling lesson of Rome's rise and fall. Empires don't usually collapse when they lose strength. They collapse when their own systems become too big, too rigid, and too dependent on a past that no longer exists. Rome ruled the world. Then it became trapped by the world it had built. If you think Rome fell because of barbarians at the gates, you're missing the real story. The gates were already broken from the inside.